Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of your OGR, as today is game 49 as the Edmonton Oilers went up against the Calgary Flames in the final Battle of Alberta of the year. And yeah, because most likely the Calgary Flames will not be making into the playoffs, as the Edmonton Oilers practically buried the chances of the Calgary Flames even making it in to the playoffs, which is kind of unfortunate, but who the hell really cares about the Calgary Flames, am I right? High five about that one, baby. But this game was absolutely amazing showcase from the Edmonton Oilers after a pretty rough game, of course, against the Calgary Flames on Thursday. It wasn't a very good game. It wasn't a very good showing from the team. We struggled. We changed the lineups a little bit for this game. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Yamamoto played alongside of each other, while Ryan McLeod showcased on the second line alongside of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Puljujärvi, which I thought that line was absolutely amazing, and we'll kind of get into that lineup later on in the video, because I thought that line played absolutely amazing throughout the night and was a really good line for the Edmonton Oilers. But also in this game, Connor McDavid also hit his 400th game of his career, which was just absolutely amazing. And not just that, he now officially has 87 points on the season, as he just hit 3 points in this game, which was just absolutely bonkers from Connor McDavid. Is only 7 games away from the season ending, and we have him at 13 points away from hitting 100. And if he can do that, that would be absolutely amazing if he could hit 100 in a 56-game season. I would have to say automatic Hart Trophy winner, automatic MVP of the league this year. Connor McDavid has been absolute fantastic. So let's get into reviewing this game, because Connor McDavid, the way that he was playing was absolutely amazing. The first goal of the game on the power play, which, our power play actually wasn't terrible throughout the night. I think there was a couple 4-on-4 chances, and I think we had 2 power play opportunities, I think, over the game, and I think we were 1 out of 2, which I think, honestly, the Edmonton Oilers power play over these past couple games have been hella deadly. I think we're 3rd in the league for our power play percentage, and we definitely do deserve it. I mean, our power play is always going to be lethal when you have McDavid and Draisaitl in the same power play always playing. But this goal from Connor McDavid was absolutely nuts. He went end to end. He was right up against Christopher Tanev. He was stick checking him and somehow just putted it in. I don't know how he did it, but he was skating so fast, and then he shot that puck so fast it was out of a rocket and right into the back of the net. It was an absolutely insane goal to see for Connor McDavid, and what a great way to start off the game for the Edmonton Oilers. And then Ethan Bear gets his second of the season as he got into a great one-timing opportunity. McDavid set him up for a great goal, and it was an absolute howitzer from Ethan Bear getting his second of the season. And this is what I mean. I love when Ethan Bear plays alongside of McDavid, because it just feels like Ethan Bear is just such a better fit alongside of McDavid and Draisaitl than what Tyson Barrie is when he's out there. Tyson Barrie does, to a degree, a nice job, but analytically, when McDavid doesn't play with Ethan Bear, McDavid is more deadlier without Tyson Barrie out on the ice. And I'm just thinking, if we didn't have Tyson Barrie on this team, how deadly Connor McDavid would have been offensively this year. And I mean, I don't mind Tyson Barrie at some moments at times. I think he sometimes plays really good. I think he makes some great offensive plays, but there's some other times where, he just lacks to make those smart plays, and he just plays it like an absolute dumbass sometimes. But that was really it for the first period. We were absolutely dominant in the first period as well, noting that. The second period is where things kind of went a little bit downhill. The Calgary Flames started really battling back. They knew this was a do-or-die game for them. If they didn't win this one, they were most likely not going to be able to make it into the playoffs, so they really had to play their A game in this one, which they didn't really bring it right off the get-go. They struggled to get any offense going, and that's what kind of derailed them from winning this game, as Johnny Gaudreau got his first for Calgary with his 18th of the season, with a nice assist there from Tkachuk. Of course, Tkachuk dashed in, got behind ahead of Caleb Jones, which was just a miscue by Caleb Jones. Just missed the read of Matthew Tkachuk, and Matthew Tkachuk got past him, got a nice shot on the net, which Mike Smith was absolutely playing brilliant in this game. He made some huge saves against Mangiapane, Tkachuk, so many of the Flames players. He was an absolute backstop for us once again. I mean, Mike Smith has just been a beast all season long this year, which I never thought I would be saying that. I thought I would be shit talking a lot of Mike Smith, but he's just been absolutely amazing this season, and especially in these past couple games, he's really getting into that playoff form that I have not seen since he took the Arizona Coyotes to that conference finals. And if I feel like we have Mike Smith going, we could possibly do anything in this playoff run. If you get a goaltender going, anything can happen for you. We've seen that with the St. Louis Blues and Jordan Binnington, and with the Pittsburgh Penguins and Matt Murray. If you have that goalie just go on a random hot streak, you could go just about anywhere. And I believe that if Mike Smith really continues the way that he's playing right now, this team could just go just about anywhere right now. And then going into the third period, it was a really quiet third period, just really back and forth defensive hockey between both teams. No really goal scoring opportunities, of course, until the empty netters with Josh Archibald getting his 7th of the season and Darnell Nurse getting his 15th. Funny enough, since last year, Josh Archibald is actually second in the league for most empty net goals with 6. So that's actually a very funny stat. Sebastian Aho actually leads the league in empty netters with 8 since 2019-2020. So very funny stat that Josh Archibald gets most of his goals from his empty net, which is just unfortunate. I mean, I wish our depth was a little bit better, which I think is going to be the biggest topic of this video, which is the Neal Chason. Why the hell do we keep having these guys in the lineup? Because it honestly makes no sense to me to keep having Neal and Chason playing near that depth. I've been questioning, I've been talking with my dad a lot on, looking at Tyler Benson. Why did we call up Ryan McLeod, but why didn't we call up Tyler Benson, who has honestly been looking stellar down there in the AHL for the Bakersfield Condors, but we decided to call up McLeod and not Benson? It kind of feels a little bit unfair. Now, yes, we do have a plethora of great wingers right now, all up and down our lineup. Not really. Tippett thinks so. We do have a ton of wingers. I know Nygaard's right now injured, and same with... I'm missing somebody else, but I wish that they would play Tyler Ennis a bit more. I feel like we need a bit more offense in that depth. Cahoon wasn't getting things going right now alongside of Haas and Archibald. They struggled. Our best lines were the McLeod, Puljujarvi, and Nuge line, which this line caught my eye immediately all night long. We were always questioning when they were putting out Draisaitl, Yamamoto, McDavid alongside of each other. We're like, I don't know if this is necessarily going to work out. And you know what? It did work greatly. I still wish Cahoon played alongside of McDavid and Yamamoto. I still felt like that line was a bit of a stronger line than any other line that we had in a while. It's just we had a really rough game against them on Friday. But the McLeod playing up on the second line honestly was not that bad of an idea. And I felt like he played really, really well alongside of Nuge and Puljujarvi. I thought they were one of our best defensive lines throughout the entire night. They were absolutely amazing. I think what did McLeod play? He played about 13-15 for ice time last night. And Nuge as well. He played 18 minutes, and Puljujarvi played a solid, where is he at? Solid 13 minutes, which I don't understand why is he only playing like 13 or 3 minutes ahead of Chason, who, we could knock him down a way amount more of ice time if we didn't play him on the power play. Every time I watch Chason out there on the power play or James Neal, I just feel bad for McDavid. We have 2 fully capable players to play on the power play in Puljujarvi and Yamamoto. He could even play McLeod in that power play, for Christ's sakes, and I think he'd fit there perfectly. We have lots of guys that are better than Neal and Chason, but for some reason we keep riding those guys instead of everyone else, and it makes no sense to me. But I really did like our top 6 throughout the night. I thought our top 6 was amazing, especially Connor McDavid pulling off his magic. McLeod, his defensive skills are absolutely amazing, and they're really gaining Tippett's trust. I mean, that's the way to Tippett's heart, is if you play a very solid defensive game, then he's going to love you to death. And McLeod is playing a very nice defensive game, where I feel McLeod, we found our third line centerman without a doubt. From watching him in these past 4 games, he's really given us a good chance of, giving us some more depth going into this playoff run. I would like to see Tyler Ennis back in the lineup over Neal or Chason. I feel like having those 2 guys on the same line, they were legit 0% for goals expected. 0. And I mean, you don't really see that throughout the year, but these guys generated no chances throughout the entire night. That fourth line was practically useless for the Edmonton Oilers. It was basically a fourth line in the AHL every time they went out there. They didn't do anything. We got hemmed in our own zone every time they were out there. They were a horrible lineup, and I do not understand why we need to keep playing them when we could change things up a little bit and go with a different combination, because honestly, that line just did not work out very well at all, and Tyler Ennis needs to be in this lineup. We need more speed, and I've been saying that for a while, that this team is a speedy team, and if we could play to that, I think we could win 100% of the games that we play. Having Chason is not a bad idea, but playing him for every single power play is not working for us right now. He is not producing to the way that he used to produce on the power play, and same with James Neal. But guess who is? Jesse Puljujarvi. He has been doing great on even strength this year, and I think he could do even better if he got some more power play time. He would just work that perfectly. Otherwise, Mike Smith had a great night once again. He was a great goalie. Mike Smith has just been absolutely fantastic throughout this entire season. Absolutely surprising me every single bit of the road. He's been playing amazing, and hopefully he could continue dominating defensively. Darnell Nurse played a huge 31 minutes last night, which was just absolutely just out of this world, the amount of minutes Darnell Nurse was playing. Otherwise, Dmitry Kulikov and Larson actually had a good analytic game, but I feel like they need to change that up. Like, our defensive core is not ideal, and I don't understand why they keep throwing a defensive defenseman alongside of Larson when it just does not work out at all. The reason why Klefbom was so good alongside of Larson was because Klefbom could actually move the puck out of the zone. Kulikov, yes, he can do that sometimes, but barely. We need a puck moving guy, either Jones or whoever it may be, even Nurse. Nurse and Larson would be a great pairing, or even Nurse and Bear, right? Throw those guys alongside of each other. Kulikov and Barry is what I would do, and Jones and Larson if I was Tippett. I would definitely have Bouchard in there. I would rather not have Tyson Barry, but knowing Tippett, he would like to keep Barry in the lineup, and especially going into this playoffs, I'd rather have Tyson Barry playing less minutes than more minutes. He played 18 minutes in this game, which I think is an absolute perfect number for Tyson Barrie. I'd rather ride Larson more than anyone. He played 23 minutes throughout the night, and he deserved every single one of those minutes because he played a very, very solid defensive game. And if we could have, Adam Larson doing that on a regular basis, especially going into the playoffs, that will be huge for the Edmonton Oilers. Honestly, this game was great. The top six played amazing. Mike Smith had another great, amazing game, and our defense score didn't have that bad of a game either. Nurse and Barry always kind of have a really bad analytic game. They're never looking great analytically, especially defensively. Bear and Jones were pretty good, except for the goals again that they gave up. That was the only downside of them, but honestly, they had a great analytic night, especially Ethan Bear. He got a goal for himself. And at Dmitry Kulikov and Larson Parent, they also played pretty well as well. They had a good night as well. So I think I recapped everything, talked about basically everything that needed to be talked about. This was a huge game for the Edmonton Oilers, giving us more of that lead here for the second divisional spot in the North. And on Monday, we have that potential of clinching a playoff spot as well. So we're getting very, very close to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting down to the wire, baby. I hope you guys are just as excited as me for playoff hockey. It should be a lot of fun. But for right now, guys, I'm going to sign off here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next OGR, baby. Adios, amigos.